What's up, everyone? I am going to talk about a subject that I really feel compelled to talk about today. This might not be a popular subject to talk about. It is very much a subject to be tucked under the rug or shoved into a place that you don't even want to think about because you just want to live a better life or live a happy life. And that is sexual trauma. So I've been very open and talked about my sexual trauma in the past. I was sexually molested by a family member between the ages of 15 and 16, and then I was raped by someone I trusted very much when I was 19. And I was keeping it all in to myself and keeping it a secret for many years, and I didn't really share that with anyone. And when my true healing journey began is when I started opening up and sharing my trauma with other people and with you all on here, and I've gotten so much amazing feedback to just knowing that you're not alone in this journey. And now I've been able to help my clients through this because I've personally have experienced this kind of trauma. So I'm on here because I wanted to share just some ideas and tips and my personal journey and working with people and helping you see that you're not alone. So first I want to say that pushing it under the rug or shoving it in a trunk or whatever your metaphor is that you have for your sexual trauma, it does not make it go away. It does not shake it off. It does not make it disappear. It's still there. So the first thing you have to recognize is you have to accept it. This is something that has happened to you. And know that that part of you is making you who you are today. So instead of rejecting it, I'm not saying I am super grateful for something like that to have happened to me, but I've recognized that that has happened to me because it's made me who I am today, and it allows me to help people in this specific way because sexual trauma is so much bigger and has happened to so many more people than you could have ever recognized, and people just don't talk about it. This is something that's a shame and is something that should not be talked about, especially in certain cultures. In my culture, sexual trauma, my Middle Eastern culture, sexual trauma it just happens. And sometimes if you share it with your parents or your family members, they ignore it because it's something that just happens in our culture. So again, accepting it, and it does not need to be accepted by your whole family, but you're having to accept it yourself. This has happened to me, and it's okay because other people have had it happen to them too, even if they don't want to talk about it. What I have recognized is by talking about it very openly and very publicly, like I can talk about my sexual trauma in detail to people, it helps other people also open up, which is so powerful, so magical. So first is acknowledging it because it's not going to go away, accepting it and recognizing that it's made you who you are today at this very moment. And then there are the layers of shame attached to the actual trauma itself. So you could be ashamed that you actually enjoyed it when it happened. You could be ashamed that it was someone in your family. Maybe it was a father, a sister, a brother, a cousin. It was a game that they played, and maybe you didn't even recognize it was sexual trauma until you were older. So recognizing that it was a family member, you're like, I don't even want to deal with it because it's a family member. How am I supposed to even talk about it with them? The thing is, you don't even need to talk about it with them. Again, it's about accepting it yourself and knowing that it happened and not tucking it under the rug and being okay, this has happened to me, and it's okay because I am who I am right now, and I'm surrounded by people who love me right now in my life and that respect me for who I am, and they're showing me unconditional love. And then you also can be ashamed and hate yourself for not getting yourself out of the situation. Maybe you had a way of getting yourself out of the situation and you just didn't. and you just hate yourself for it. So the guilt attached to not getting yourself out of the situation goes really deep. And then you can also hate yourself and your body because it's happened to you, so you feel dirty, you feel that you just don't want to take care of your body. Maybe you are a binge eater because you don't want to show the beauty of your actual body, so you just gouge on food and you just you just cover your body with your own body, if that makes sense. And I've also talked and worked with people like that. They just actually don't want to be seen for themselves, so they just cover themselves up by gaining a lot of weight, unfortunately. So there's so much layers to sexual trauma, again, that people don't talk about. And the first step to recovery, besides accepting it, acknowledging it, is to forgive yourself. So forgiving the other person comes secondary, and you know what, maybe that's not even a place where you even want to go to, but forgiving yourself for it happening, because it was nothing that you could have done. It was nothing that could have been changed. What has happened, and you need to recognize it. And my message right now is for you to forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself will free you and allow you to finally heal. And I know from a person that has experienced sexual trauma, healing yourself is what is going to ultimately make you the best version of yourself, and it's going to allow you to step into the world and be the best version of yourself, being the best mom, being the best sister, being the best partner. And then that's just in the personal and private space, and going to your career and being the best version of yourself. And all that stuff has to do with healing and forgiving yourself. Also, if you are feeling anxiety arise, especially during this time of crazy pandemic, and fear arise, the sexual trauma that has gone unresolved can very well, the anxiety and the fear could be stemming from the sexual trauma that lays dormant in your subconsciousness. Again, this is something that I have talked about with my clients and have dealt with, and sometimes it takes lots of conversations for them to open up, but it's definitely something that is, again, it's not something that's just going to go away, or it's not something that's just going to hide, or it's not something that's going to just disappear. So there's my trauma that I have to deal with, and then you can also then sometimes even people go back to their parents' sexual trauma and understanding the reason why they are the way they are. So sexual trauma can come up from the your parents' childhood in other ways, such as, again, maybe you had a parent who had a lot of anger issues, and that could very well be unresolved trauma from the sexual trauma from their childhood. Again, this is something that I have dealt with myself in my life. This is why I'm sharing this message with you. This is a topic I feel really called to work with and to talk about. So this video is for anyone who wants to hear it. And my message, again, my number one message from this video is to accept and to forgive yourself. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and whoever is hearing this right now, I hope this maybe gave you some bits and pieces of just feeling like you're not alone, and that we are all in this together, and healing comes as a shared community. So if I can help you be the best version of yourself, awesome. And if you can help, you are already helping me be the best version of myself just by telling me things that you, when you open up to me and you share all the beautiful messages that you do share with me. So thank you again for continuously showing me what I need to be doing with my life and for guiding me. And I appreciate you guys so very much. Till next time.